I let my anger get the best out of me at NeoAP. I did 40 days, and I know you gave me a shot at probation and a program and whatnot, and I took the help when you offered it to me rather than go to prison. I had an altercation with one of the staff members, and
what was the altercation about?
He wrote me up for something that I didn't do, and I called him out of his name. So basically, I let my anger get the best out of me, and it's something I need to work on.
What do you mean you call? What do you mean you called him out?
I called him a bitch.
Is he a bitch?
I mean, no, obviously, no, he's not. I just
then why'd you call him a bitch?
I let my anger get the best out of me, Your Honor.
Right. And then, as a result of that comment, they threw you out?
Yeah. Yep. They kicked me out. I think I did like 42 days, maybe. So I was just getting into the majority of my classes.
Well, you started once he wrote you up. He was walking to the central control, and you followed him. Stood in the doorway of central control. Began challenging the staff member and calling him names. Then you walked around the upper level, continued screaming, "You're a bitch, fuck you," which alerted other residents to what was going on. Supervisor tried to talk to you to get you to lower your voice and control yourself. And from that, you escalated in the same behavior. They told you what you had to do to comply. You said you weren't going to comply. You were done with the program. Went to an unapproved area, refused to leave. Kept saying, "You're done with the program. Take me back to county." So they perceived you to be a bit of a threat. So you were taken out.
Yes, Your Honor. All that is true. Except they took me to my room. I went to my room after all that happened, and they're like, "Are you going to chill out?" I said yes, and I tried to calm down. I took a nap, and I was just trying to let it just pass over. When I woke up, I was gonna get up and apologize to the staff member for acting the way that I did. Me saying I was done with the program, I might have said that one time, but they had calmed me down, and I wanted to continue the program and just get it over with.
Well, you wanted to continue the program and just get it over with? Why wouldn't you want to continue the program and get something out of it so that you don't keep coming back here?
Well, I mean, that is
year
well, Your
after
Honor.
Year after year.
I would, if you could possibly put me into another program. I have.
What kind of program? What?
I mean, some kind of anger management class, or any kind of program like that.
Well, the problem is, why do you need an anger management program? Why?
I mean, I guess it was more. I have anger issues. I do.
What are you angry about?
I feel like all of that stemmed from where I was at. I'm not just like an angry person out on the streets. I don't just go up to people and say, start cussing at them. Like, I'm rarely ever angry in that sense.
Well, if you did that, you'd be in the mental hospital.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
So what's the source of all? You said the stuff in your past. What stuff? What stuff?
I mean, it's just my drug use. That's what got me angry. Just being a failure at life. Just not being where I wanted to be at in life. That's what got me angry. But me, having this.
Where do you want to be at in life?
I just want to be successful. I want to hold a career. I want to stay at a job for more than a year. I want to raise my son. I want to teach him how to be a man and instill the values and morals that, you know, my father had given me into him. And I mean, I just want to be successful.
How long you been going to Signature Health?
I started going there again this year. I was out for 8 days. I had gotten bonded out on this felony case, and I was out for 8 days, and I signed up for their program there, and then I came to court on the 1st, and I was sentenced to NeoAP, so I didn't get to follow through with them.
What are those records? What's the time frame on those records, Kim?
Your Honor, it goes all the way back to 24.
Okay.
So he's been with them probably off and on for quite some time.
And what do they say your problem is? What were they? Okay. So what kind of substance?
Substance abuse, and it's a dual disorder, anxiety and depression and whatnot. But that I believe that stems from my drug use.
Okay. So what was the plan to do something about it?
I got on their MAT program, which I've been on.
Which is what?
Suboxone, and I've been taking that regularly.
What's this methadone crap?
I got off of methadone. I got on it when I was in Minneapolis, and I ended up getting off of it just because I just didn't like the side effects on it, and I could still use on it. I wanted something that could block.
When were you in Minneapolis?
I was in Minneapolis in 2020 after I got out of prison. I went out there, went to a sober house, stayed out there for 1.5 years, and then moved to Columbus, got in the laborers union, and now I'm back in Lake County.
Okay. What was the name of that place? Sunrise something or other, Kim?
New Season.
New Season, same thing. When did you go to New Seasons?
New Seasons? I don't...
In Menor.
Oh, New Seasons. Oh, the methadone clinic there. I was there, I think when I came back from Minneapolis, I tried getting in with them, but I got in with another program.
The methadone does what, theoretically?
It helps with your cravings.
For
and
opiates, right?
Yes, opiates.
Not meth, right?
No.
So you get around the opiate blockers with meth in the past?
Yeah, you definitely can use meth on opiate blockers.
Okay, so what's the point? What's the point of taking a drug that's going to keep you from using a drug if you're going to use other drugs?
I don't plan on using other drugs. I mean, it was just that lifestyle I was living. Like that's not the person I am, Your Honor. I'm not a drug addict. That's not my name.
Well, you are, right?
Oh, I'm a drug addict, but I don't let that define me, and I do not want to go back to that life. Okay. So I'm going to do anything that I can to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, part of that plan was NeoAP.
Yeah.
It didn't work. So I'm trying to figure out, with the help of Jim and Kim, to figure out what could possibly work when nothing has worked. How long were you in prison? Not long, right?
6 months.
Okay. Was that a pleasant stay?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It did nothing for me.
There should be some motivation not to go back there.
Absolutely.
It isn't intended to do anything for you, by the way. It did exactly what it's intended to do, nothing. Put you somewhere for 6 months that you can't cause any havoc out here. That's what it's designed to do. It's not designed to help you. You have to help you. If you don't want to help you, then you ain't going to be helped. Sounds simple. It is simple. So I have no idea what to do with you at this point. All right, we're going to come back for the final hearing. And maybe between me and Jim and Kim, we'll be able to figure out if there's anything that can be done for you.
All right. Is there anything I should be looking into, or?
Well, I think what you need to look into is figuring out what exactly you want to do with your life and figuring out in an honest manner what you have to do, what steps you have to take to get to that end. That's what you have to do.
All right.
See you next time.
All right.
Okay, but yes, I'm pleading guilty to them.
I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty, Ms. Tomaszek.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We would like to ask the court today for any leniency in sentencing for Ms. Rude. Your Honor, I know you're fully aware of her issues with her mental health. Ms. Rude indicates there's a specific type of therapy that she knows she needs, that she does want to try. So, Your Honor, we would just like to ask the court for any leniency. I did speak with her and her sister today. Currently, both of her parents are in the hospital. They are both caring for her daughter, Ava, right now, and I know Ms. Rude wants to be able to get home, get to her daughter. She's concerned about her parents due to their age and medical conditions, taking care of her daughter. She's trying to make it her priority. She does want to get back to work. So we'd just like to ask the court for any leniency today. Thank you.
Ms. Rude, anything you want to tell me before I sentence you?
I do apologize about how I presented myself a couple months ago. You and my probation officer have nothing to do with the traumatic experience that I've experienced within life. I wanted to be cooperative, but I did go into NeoAP with an open mind. I had a mental break in there. I'm not able to take medication. The meds that I am prescribed, they don't allow them, and I did try my hardest to go to treatment in there. It just was very difficult for me. So I know that you said a couple months ago that you didn't think my daughter was my main priority, but she is my main priority, and I do want to get back home to my daughter. I do speak to her every day, and I am really worried that my parents something might happen to them. They're both in their 80s. My mom has Alzheimer's, and my dad, he's been like battling on and off with bronchitis for the last couple of months. And today, my dad revealed to me that they were on their way after dropping my daughter off to school, that they were on the way to the ER. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with my parents, but I'm a little scared. I don't want my daughter to be anything like me. I don't want her to experience anything that I experienced within foster care. And I know that that's the next step for her if my parents, something happens to them. So if offered another opportunity into society, you will never see me within your courtroom. And that is 100% on my life, a promise. If offered one more opportunity, I won't be here anymore. I'll try my best to just be a better person, and I will absolutely stay away from this past relationship because it's got me into a lot of this, like, serious problems. Like, I now have an open case with Child Protective Services due to what happened that night. I have like so many things going on with law right now. Like, I have another case that I'm fighting in Cuyahoga County. I have warrants that I've never usually would have because I haven't made it to court. I have health conditions and things that I have to get back to my doctors pertaining to. I have a daughter to take care of. I'm not trying to be disobedient when it comes to law anymore. I don't even really want to be in relationships anymore. I just want to focus on me and trying to get myself together so I could take care of myself and my daughter. I'm so sorry for how I presented myself the last couple of months. I'm so sorry for how I dealt with everything pertaining to my mind and my spirit. I will try my best, if given one more opportunity, to abide by my treatment.
Well, the point of the community control from back in May, and then once again we were here on the violation, was to put you in a position so you could do everything that you just said you want to do, but you resisted at every front. You resisted at NeoAP, you resisted at mental health court, you have been causing problems over here at the jail. And you have, and I don't consider what you said to me in court, I don't really care about. I don't even remember most of it, okay? I don't care. People say stuff to me and call me names all the time. It doesn't bother me at all. So if you're worried about me holding that against you, then that's not a worry. It's not a concern, it's not an issue. The issue is that you've got a violent past, as exhibited through domestic violences and assaults that have continued on and on and on. This case arose out of this situation with Willis Joyner that you insisted on continuing and resulted in you being here. Once you were here, we tried to give you an opportunity and an avenue to straighten all this out, and you have just steadfastly refused at every turn. And so this is what you have brought upon yourself. And this hasn't stopped. It's continued since you got back over at the jail, through your disruption over there. So now, when you are out from under this case, then you can go and get all the help you need and try to change your behavior, or you can just keep doing what you're doing. But there's a predictable end if you keep doing what you're doing. So you decide what you want to do. But the fact is, you're not amenable to community control anymore, because there's nothing left to do with you. Even if I wanted to do something more with you on community control, there's nowhere for you to go, because nobody will take you because of what the history you have created. You have done that.
I wanted to, I just want to say, when it comes to mental health court, I was actually grateful that you gave me the mental health court. I wanted to still continue to come to mental health court. So I was really confused as to like why Judge Trebitz did not want me to be in his courtroom anymore.
Any input on that?
Your Honor, communicating with the mental health staff in the jail, Ashley was approached about mental health court and said, fuck mental health court. That got back to the judge, and the judge terminated you for being back in jail and making that comment.
Okay.
I don't recall saying that.
Ashley was being brought from NeoAP to participate in mental health court. When she got kicked out of NeoAP, she was no longer able to do that. I think the attempts to have her continue with that program ended at that time.
All right. All right, well, I'm terminating your community control. I'm going to sentence you to 14 months in prison with credit for 288 days, and the costs are assessed. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years. Under the parole authority, if they place you on post-release control, they'll put conditions on you. If you violate the conditions, they could return you to prison for up to 7 months. If your violation's a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation, the maximum of which is a greater of 12 months or the time left under post-release control. Anything else, Ms. Tomaszek?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, I have a question. What about this?
So that's Cleveland.
Right, so
We
what's
can't
gonna
do
happen with
anything
it?
about it. So typically what happens is